So as you can see by the graphic on the screen right now, the vast majority of you guys are not subscribed. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button so we can get the gospel of Jesus Christ and top tier apologetics out to more and more people. With that being said, enjoy the video. So GodLogic just debated a Muslim scholar named Walid Naim. I'm probably butchering the name, but just follow with me. And during this debate, Walid actually said something so massive, so huge, and I don't think anyone's actually talking about it, so I want to shed some light on this huge blunder. Now, this is not something that GodLogic actually got him to concede on. This is something that he said, and during the debate, it was overlooked. Walid implied that Allah does not exist, He cannot exist, and that Allah needs a God, that Allah is literally a creation of God. This is pretty crazy. Let's go ahead and get right into this huge blunder.
Type of being. You know?
Right. I believe this is how the Quran and the majority of the Bible describe God. I believe God is a physical, concrete entity that has a specific spatial location. He's not a concept. He's not an idea. He's not an energy. He dwells above the earth on his throne.
Okay, I got you. Interesting.
Yes.
So there is absolutely no way that this Muslim scholar just said that Allah exists in space-time, that He's physical. What a blunder that is. So during this video, we're going to be discussing two of the biggest problems with saying that Allah is physical and that He exists in space-time. Discussing problem number one, God's immutability, and problem number two, God's independence or aseity. Now, by definition, God is unchanging. He's immutable. And by definition, God is independent. So we're going to see if Allah, if He's physical and exists in space-time, if He can satisfy both of those conditions. Walid thinks that Yahweh, the one true God, the God that is, has the same problem. Yahweh doesn't exist in space-time. He doesn't exist above the throne in a spatial-temporal location. And we know this because the Bible says very clearly in 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 27, that there is no place that can contain Him. Let's read what the Bible says here. It says, "But will God indeed dwell on the earth? Behold, heaven and the highest heaven cannot contain you." That's my whole point, right? The highest heaven cannot contain God. You know why? Because God is not limited to a space, to a particular location. God is infinite, independent, transcendent, and absolute. God does not need to exist in a spatial temporal location like a creature. This is the problem with Allah. He has the same properties as a creature, yet they call Him God. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, point number one. God is essentially immutable. What it means to be immutable is that you do not change, you cannot change. God is the unchanged changer. This is Thomas Aquinas' whole point from the argument from motion. There has to be something that is pure act, something that does not change in and of itself, but it actualizes the change of everything else.
The acorn grows into an actually tall tree. The child grows into a mature adult man, walking and talking. And the water in the ocean evaporates and condenses into a rain cloud, which then showers rain upon the land. All of these changes are the realizations of the potentialities hidden within things. When we think of change as the actualization of potential, a question confronts us. Why does the potentiality of things become actual? After all, potentiality does not realize itself on its own. Pondering this question led Aristotle to the conclusion that there must be some ultimate source of change. The ultimate source of change must be completely actual and not have any potentiality in it. But it is responsible for the realization of potentiality in everything else. The ultimate source of change he called the unmoved mover, or God.
Allah, if he exists in space-time, that means that he changes because time is the rate of change. Everything in time undergoes iterations of change. Therefore, if Allah exists in space-time, he can't be unchanging. Therefore, he can't be God. But it gets even better. So point number 2 actually follows from point number 1. God is analytically independent. What it means to say that God is analytically independent and analytic truth is just something that is true by definition. A bachelor is unmarried by definition. So God is independent by definition. Now, the point here is that if God is independent, analytically that means he's not dependent upon anything. And so the problem is that if you have a God that exists in space-time, as Walid admitted, that Allah occupies a place in space. That means Allah is dependent upon the space that he occupies, right? He's not fully independent, but he's dependent upon the space and time that he occupies. If Allah is physical, that means Allah is dependent upon the shape that comprises him. Everything that is physical has a shape. It has a form. Therefore, Allah is dependent upon the shape or form that comprises him. So Allah literally exists in the creation, which means he is created. Allah needs a God. But wait, there's more. Because if Allah is physical, that means Allah can be perceived. And if Allah can be perceived, that means that Allah is dependent or limited to our perception. So this is the reason why the Bible says that no one can behold the glory of God, because God is independent and his glory is so great that it is impossible for a creature to behold that glory. But if Allah is physical, that means we can see him, which means we can behold his glory. Yeah, this thing is not thought. Allah is not independent. He's limited. He's an anthropomorphic moon god that does not exist. Now remember, if you enjoyed this video, please hype it up, like, comment, and smash that subscribe button. We are coming out with some more videos, absolute bangers. Our next video is going to be where Cora actually cross-examined me on the Trinity and she got baked. And then we have another video coming out where Orthodox Muslim is literally running from me. I called him out to a formal, I even DM'd him on Instagram, and he has yet to respond. So some crazy videos coming up. Make sure you go ahead and smash the subscribe button so you never miss any new content. But with that being said, CG Gang, CG Nation, CG Squad. I'm out, man. Take care.